potatoes.
This is a brew of compost tea that I'll be putting on my hothouses later on today. It's been on since about 4:30 last night and been quietly bubbling away here. What I've got is I've got a bag of compost suspended in the water. In this case I've got about 40 litres in here, and so I have about 100 grams of compost per 10 litres of water. It's being heated and air blowing through it. Now the intent behind here is to have the microorganisms feeding, breeding, growing and senescing going quiet over a time. So that's your bacteria, fungi and protozoa, a good range of organisms. So we're just keeping the microbes alive and keeping them breeding. I will come back in 24 hours. Now we've got the completed brew. It's been brewing for 24 hours, taking off the microbes, suspending them in the water. Our temperature's changed from 15 to 20, so our thermometer's done its work, our little heater's done its work. All of these little bits of bubbles and so on, that's probably the dead bodies of the bacteria and so on that have been bred, fed and lived and died and then gone back to be reabsorbed. Now they'll just, dead bodies won't hurt. You only get out as good as you put in. So make sure that you're going to put really good quality compost in here. If you put poor anaerobic compost in, you're likely to get a very poor result and likely to be very anaerobic, and you do more damage to your production system than you will good. So be aware of the little nuances that you have to get right all the way through this. It doesn't take much more, it just takes a little bit more attention. Now this isn't just a bunch of rubbish, this has been well brewed and good compost. Can you use same amount of cleanliness, take care of it, look after it. Make sure it's ready to go. So we have a little sieve arrangement here to make sure we have good clean brew going in there. And gently fill it. If you don't strain it well, you're going to get little bits in there that will block your sprayer. That's about the level we want for that. Side. Remember, these little critters are alive. They're breathing oxygen, so we've got to use them straight away. Putting them in the back of the garage and using them tomorrow after you've had a couple of beers tonight isn't going to work. Get them while we're going. I don't like to spray when I have fruit on the vines or on the trees, so when I do that I just do a ground drench. Just pour the tea on the ground near the plants. Now these are very young rainbow chard that I planted this morning, and I'm just re-establishing the microorganisms in the bed. I just pour them on. They'll be happy. They'll make the plants happy. Just like that. I like to water them this way when they're very young and do the foliage when they're getting up a wee bit. Some green beans that I've got growing, a late crop of green beans. What I like about this stuff is that you can breathe it. I don't have to have a protective suit, because basically it's the same biology as I have in my stomach. If my stomach is healthy, of course. Yeah, mostly underneath. Get up underneath. So the stomata are open at this time, little breathing holes under the leaf, where they take in the CO2 in the evenings. I can't show you because they're too small. But if you come out early in the morning and look at the leaves on the plants, you'll see that they're all dripping wet, even though they haven't been watered. And the question is, why would that happen? Because it must be coming from the plant. If you're going to use a spray system for applying the compost tea, or as you like to call it, biological inoculum, if you want to get scientific, if you want to use a spray system, be aware that if you're going to use a centrifugal machine that drives your spray unit, especially if you're on the back of a tractor, these are alive organisms. Do not use a pump system that is going to smash them around. You need to have like a reciprocating pump, just up and down, not one that whizzes round and round and smashes the organisms. Otherwise you're defeating the whole purpose. You're just killing them as they go. Remember, they are alive. If you put them under the microscope, you'll see all sorts of things wriggling around there. So we have to be aware of that in everything we do. Note that when I'm using the spray, it is not a fine spray like this. It's almost just past the jet. So you're getting quite a lot coming out of there. If you're using a machine to apply it, then you want your jets open as if you were flooding them for laying tar on the ground or laying tar on a road. That's how much you want them going. You should, if you're going to apply, if you're going to be a farmer applying the stuff, you're looking at about something like 150 litres per hectare. So work out that rate for your machinery. Just get stuck in and do it.